Welcome to a new episode in my series about GNU/Linux and USB. In my previous videos we already talked a little bit about tinyUSB. We compiled a Hello World HID example for our Raspberry Pi Pico, and I showed you the HID raw API from Linux. And in today's video I want to go one step further. I want to connect the HID example with some IOs. Therefore you can see I have put this custom PCB on my Raspberry Pi Pico, and on this PCB I have a button and 3 LEDs, and the goal of today's video is to control this hardware over the tinyUSB HID generic inout example, or by expanding this example. Okay, before we start, let me tell you how I connected these button and LEDs to the IOs. So the button is connected to GPIO 14, and if I pull the button, I'm pulling GPIO 14 to ground. And if I'm not pushing the button, I need a pull-up resistor in the Raspberry Pi Pico, and then I will read a 1. And the 3 LEDs here are connected to GPIO 20, 21, and 22, and if I switch them to high, I'm basically turning them on. And if I switch them to low, I'm turning the LEDs off again. Okay. So here I am in my programming folder on my PC, and as a template for today's video I will use the Pico HID hello folder, and this is basically just the generic or HID generic inout example from tinyUSB ported to a Raspberry Pi Pico, and I will create a new folder. I will call Pico HID IOs, and let me jump into this folder and let's see what's in here. So basically the file main.c, tinyUSB config, and USB descriptors.c are the tinyUSB files describing our HID device. This test app HID.c is an application running on my PC to control the application. The cmake list.txt and the Pico SDK import.cmake are files I need to compile this for my Raspberry Pi Pico. Okay, and let me switch off the camera so you can see my full screen, and then let's start modifying this example here. So once again, here is the HID generic inout input and output example from tinyUSB. So what we are doing in here basically is we are setting up a USB device. And here this is the tinyUSB device task, and in this task we are basically, or when we are receiving data over the HID endpoint, we're calling this function here, tut HID set report CB. And here in this example we are just echoing back what we've received, and in here we have to implement some logic to actually control some IOs. So let's go. The first thing I will do is I will create a header from the Pico SDK to be able to initial or utilize the GPIOs. So I need to include pico/standardlib.h. Okay, and then I will declare a new function. I will call init IOs, and in this function I will set up all the IOs I need. So maybe let's declare this function at the bottom. And here I will have a for loop starting from 20 to initialize my output LEDs. And what I will do here is I will use GPIO init to initialize the GPIO, then GPIO set dir to set the direction of the GPIO to GPIO out. And that's basically it for the outputs. Now I have to initialize the button. Therefore I have to call the function GPIO init for GPIO 14. Now I have to set the direction to GPIO in, which stands for GPIO input. And I need to pull, or I have to add a pull-up resistor also to this GPIO, because my button only pulls the GPIO to ground, and there is no pull-up assembled on my PCB. Okay, and this function, which I have declared here, I have to call in the main function. Maybe here would be a good place. Okay, and now I have to implement some logic which allows me to read out the button or set the LEDs in this callback function down here. Okay, and therefore I will create a small a struct I will call report. And this struct has the following field. The first field is a command, and this command specifies if I want to set an LED or read the state of the button. And then I will add 3 additional arguments to the struct here. And in here, I will create a pointer from this type struct report, or maybe request. Yeah, let's call it request here, because we already have reports in here, and to not mix them, let's call this request. Okay, and this pointer request here, this buffer contains the data coming from the PC to our device, and this should have this form here. And then I can start a switch case here. So depending on which command I have received, I will perform different operations. Case. In case it's an S, I want to set the LED. And wait, let me reformat this. Yep, now it's better. And in case this here is G, I want to read the button. So S is for set and G is for get. And default, I will do nothing. Okay. And what I will do here is, in case I will want to set the LED, let me add some variables here. GPIO number and GPIO value. So in case I want to set the LED, GPIO number will be the first argument from my request, and GPIO value will be the second argument from my request, and I will here this I will add with 20, or maybe let's do to make it a little bit safer, let's check if GPIO number is equal to 20 or to 0, or GPIO number is equal to 1, or GPIO number is equal to 2, and only in this case I will call the function GPIO put to write GPIO number plus 20 with GPIO value. So here we are setting our IOs. And here, when we are getting the G command, what I will do is I will read in the state of the button with get for gene, and then I will echo it back, and therefore I need a second request argument which I will call answer. So the command here I will set to uppercase G, and args 0 will be GPIO value. And then I will use this function tinyUSB HID report to send this back to the host. Send report back to the host. And here I won't send the buffer, no, instead I will send this answer request struct which I filled up here. Okay, so this should be the implementation for our device. You can also see I'm only sending something back if I have received the request with the command G, otherwise I won't send anything back. I have initialized the IO pins and I'm calling this function, so this should be basically it. So let me try to compile this program. Of course, first I have to invoke CMake, and I have to set the path to the Pico SDK. Okay, now I should be able to build it. Or not to build it, but to create everything I need in order to build it, and now I should be able to build it. In the meantime, I can, let me switch on the camera again. I can unplug my device here and reconnect it, so I'm able to put the compiled file on my Raspberry Pi Pico. Okay, yep, I have an error here. What's wrong here? Maybe did I forget to close? Yep, I forgot to close a brace here. Here we go. Now we should be able to compile it. It's looking good, and now I can copy. Okay, the name is still HID hello. Maybe I will rename this later. But now let's copy it onto our Raspberry Pi Pico. UF2. Yep. So now this new program is loaded, and we have successfully programmed our Raspberry Pi Pico. But now we need to implement a userspace application to access our HID device and to actually toggle our IOs. And therefore, luckily, I also have a sample application here. So this is the userspace application. The first argument would be here the HID raw device. And let me change it a little bit. Is equal to 2 or is unequal to 2. And argc is unequal to 4. So IO value. So here the first argument would be the HID raw device I'm passing to the to this function. The second, these arguments are optional. In case I want to set the LED, I have to give it here the number of the LED and the value I want to initialize. Then down here I'm opening the HID raw device, and this was the example for the loopback application. Here I just write something, the second argument to the device, and read something back. Of course, I have to change this logic a little bit. And for changing this logic, let me open again the function here, so I can copy this request struct, because I will need it in the application as well. And I think I also have to include standard int.h to have u and 8t available. Okay, and then in here, I need to check if the amount of arguments is 2, so I only have passed the HID raw device. Then I will read state of the button. I think I don't need this variable any longer. Struct request and let's initialize it with zeros here. So in case I want to read the state of the button, I will set our command to a G. And then I will write down this request. Okay, and then let's read it back. Yep, and let's print out button is pressed. Args 0. In case this is 1, the button is pressed. In case this is 0, the button is not pressed. Okay. And in case argc is equal to 4, then we want to set a button. So then the command would be an S. Our command will be the first or the second argument converted to an integer, and the second argument will be the value we want to apply, which is the the third argument here. Okay, And that should be it. Let's try to compile it and let's try to run this application. Okay, the compilation worked. Now let's see which HID device we have. So we have 6 HID devices here on our system. Let me disconnect the tinyUSB device and let's see which device disappears. Okay, so it should be HID device 5. When I reconnected the device, we can see we have this dev HID raw device 5 back again. Okay, and now let's execute this. First we will just read out the button, and as you can see the button is not pressed. Oh, but we have an invert logic. So if the button is not pressed, I will read back a 1, and I'm echoing back this 1. So here I'm getting button is pressed, and when I'm pressing the button, I will get button is not pressed. So I have to change this. So here I have a small mistake, but this is an extremely simple fix. So it's just if this is equal to 0, then the button is pressed, else it's not pressed. So let's recompile it. So now I'm getting button is not pressed, and if I'm pressing the button, I'm getting button is pressed. So now it's working. Now let's also see if we can toggle the LEDs. Yep, we can. Cool, isn't it? Yep, so that's how we can control some IOs. By using the HID generic inout example from tinyUSB. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something. In case you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/learners for Linux. So thanks for watching and goodbye.